Women across Africa like rearing dairy goats as they give milk and are easy to manage even on small pieces of land. Goat milk fetches a higher price on the market than cow's milk. And it's also high nutritious, very good for children, the elderly, and people living with HIV and AIDS. But for dairy goats to produce a lot of milk, they need proper feeding. Well-fed goats will also grow faster and give birth twice a year with a higher chance of producing twins. So how can we best feed our dairy goats? Goats eat just about anything, but when goats are kept tied or penned up, they need lots of water and a good mix of feed and enough of it. A thirsty or hungry goat will often bleat without stopping. By giving them fodder every day, you can satisfy part of their needs in energy, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Fodder can include grasses, maize stalks, and other crop residues, as well as leaves of banana, shrubs, and trees. Some plants stimulate milk production more than others, as some farmers from Mugito village in Kenya explain.
Kitu muhimu sana ambayo mimi huona kinaniletea maziwa ni mandizi.
The most important thing that I see bringing a lot of milk is banana stem. I take it, chop it properly, then I dry it well. I take sweet potato vines, I chop them and mix them properly with some grass to make it a little dry. When goats eat the mixture, they give me a lot of good milk. I give my goats sweet potato vines because it makes them produce a lot of milk. It's good feed because it contains vitamins. Also, as it is a creeping plant, it does not get finished quickly. Leaves from cowpeas, beans, calendria, and glivera trees are rich in protein and good for milk production.
We give dairy goats gravelia because it provides protein, especially when mixed with maize stalks and leaves of avocado and banana. With these, the goat produces good milk.
Other good sources of proteins are soybean meal, fish meal, and cottonseed cake. These can often be found in concentrate feed. Dry the harvested fodder for about 3 days before feeding it to the goats to avoid them getting diarrhea. If a goat gets diarrhea, give a mix of wheat flour and water because wheat flour is sticky and will stop diarrhea. Feeds that are dry make goats produce a lot of milk. This is because it makes the goat to drink a lot of water, which increases milk production. The water helps in digesting the feed and therefore in producing milk. Goats are very clean and will not drink water with dirt or droppings in it. As milk is composed mainly of water, supply enough clean water at all times in a clean trough. By drinking water, goats better digest the fodder and give more milk. Milk also contains proteins, fat, and minerals. As most fodder contains only very small amount of minerals, it is good to provide some salt to your goats.
Kile kitu ambacho ninafanya ni kupatia chakula ambayo imekauka.
To increase milk production, I give dry feed and salt. When the goat licks salt, it eats a lot of feed. And you know the feed is dry. This makes the goat thirsty and it drinks a lot of water. Every day provide loose salt or salt blocks that you can buy at your local agro-vegetarian shop. Now that we know what a dairy goat needs for good milk production, let us look at some of the precautions. Remove leftover feed from troughs placed on the ground because the goats may have urinated and defecated in it. Thoroughly clean the feeding trough before bringing in fresh feed. To avoid contaminating feeds with animal droppings, it is best to place the feed in raised troughs. Cover harvested fodder if it is going to rain, as you want the fodder to be dry rather than wet to stimulate the dairy goats to drink more. As goats eat almost whatever they are offered, avoid feeding them poisonous plants.
Wakati naenda kwa kichaka, kwa sababu niko katika ile harakati ya kukata nyasi.
When cutting grass, I may cut plants that I never intended to cut and then may harm my goats. Leaves from magurukia or makoma are not good because they are poisonous to goats. They may make goats bloat and they may even die.
Hayo sio mazuri, ni kwa sababu mbuzi ya kila ni poison. Inafurisha na inaua mbuzi.
To treat stomach bloat, mix soda ash with water and give it to the goat. You can also apply grease between the nose and the mouth and let the sick goat lick it to reduce stomach bloating. Avoid feeding onions and kale leaves, as this will give a bad odor to the milk. Preserve feed in the form of hay or dried fodder to use during the dry, hungry seasons. Goats of different ages need different kinds of food. As the dairy goat grows older, give it more food and maintain its good health. If your dairy goat is pregnant, mix its feed with 3 handfuls of dairy meal during the last 3 months of the pregnancy in order to get a healthy kid and lots of milk. For a milking goat, also add 3 handfuls of dairy meal to its normal feed ratio to maintain milk yield. So what have we learned? Well-fed dairy goats give more milk and more kids. Feed dairy goats with a mixture of nutritious plants. Dry harvested and chopped fodder for a day before feeding. Always remove leftover forage before putting fresh feed in the trough. Avoid feeding your dairy goats with poisonous plants and plants that cause bad odor to the milk. Every day, supply the goats with enough clean water and salt. Whether you have 1 goat or 100, correct feeding will help you get the best from the animals and keep them healthy so they can produce kids and milk for many years.